Do you want to have your own self-employment project? Are you thinking about creating an initiative with some more people? I was in that position a few years ago, and I found with some friends and friends of friends that we wanted to create our self-employment initiative, and we wanted to build a different economy. So how do we do this? And we started to look for different possibilities, and we found that the social and solidarity economy was a real good possibility. And now we are completely immersed in these type of practices. What is it about? What is the social and solidarity economy? It's kind of a framework and a movement, and there are more and more institutions and laws that become like to give like form to this thing that is a living possibility. And it's basically made of different initiatives that what they want is to put in the center the well-being of people and planet. So the center is no longer anymore the profit, like in the conventional economy or the capitalism, but the people and the planet, and how to serve for the people and the planet in our own initiative. So how can we earn our life and in our initiatives, and we at the same time give benefits to the people and the planet? Basically, that's the idea. The social economy is something broader. There's a variety of initiatives, cooperatives, foundations, associations, and it's like a bigger field, which their main goal or their main proposal is to democratize the economy, to make it more participatory, to include people in the decision-making processes, in the ownership of the companies, to have like these inclusion principles for considering the diversity of needs and resources that people have. The solidarity economy is like a field within that bigger field, and it's something more specific, and it's what I want to talk more about, because it has different principles that can make it more feasible, that can help you to articulate your initiative within these logics of a social and solidarity economy. There are 6 main principles. So the first one is decent work, employment, to create your own work in the conditions, the labor conditions that you are wishing for. So just to take into account like the working hours, the working conditions, and to really create an employment that fulfill your needs and that satisfy needs also in the local community. So the second principle is the local environment. We are building something, an initiative that creates our own employment but also answers to local needs or social needs. And the difference of this economy is that the main focus is in building a network of local possibilities. So we have into consideration what is happening at a global scale, but we articulate a network of economy in our local scale. It's like relocalizing the economy within these practices. For doing that, we have also into account the sustainability. So the environmental sustainability is not only that we relocalize the economy for the people, but also that we do it because it's more sustainable, and we look for our practices that they have these environmental principles in them, in the production, in the distribution, in the consumption that we create as services or goods, or so in the whole cycle we have into consideration these sustainable principles. And we want to create these different logics with this, we have now like these 3 principles, and a 4th principle can be that we look for the equity. We look for this diversity within an equity frame. So we create conditions in which gender perspective is included. It's not only like that people and planet, but people and planet are diverse. So we need to include the perspective of the equity to take into account majorities, minorities, and how do we deal with this in our initiatives, the different needs, the diversity. So that's why the equity principle is very important for salaries, for working conditions, for many things, no? And also create equity in the environments that we are, to spread the word in our practices. It's a lot in these practices that they are interrelated, the principles. But the fifth one, which I consider one of the key points, is the non-for-profit. The non-for-profit, it's a specific of the solidarity economy, and it creates the possibility to think that in the center is no longer anymore the profit, but is the benefits, considering the economy, the society, and the environment. So how do we do this? When we have more earnings, we redistribute it to other projects, social projects, educational projects, or different ways to really create an economy that is sharing the benefits within these different dimensions, and not only looking for a profit that can be distributed only among the partners. Just like to make the difference between the conventional economy, which in capitalist economy, and the social and solidarity economy, but specifically the solidarity economy. The sixth principle is the cooperation. Why is the cooperation important? Because we don't want to be the best initiative. We don't look for shining most than the others, but we look to shine together more. So the idea is that it's not how I am the best organization to answer to social needs, but how we can support each other so the needs that this organization is addressing are addressed in a better way, and the needs that I am addressing in my organization are addressed in a better way. So we create this mutual support, these logics of cooperation, instead of competing to see which one is the best in addressing the needs. We can talk about a seventh principle because this is an alive movement, so new principles are coming that make them more possible. And this seventh principle is the transparency. We have specific tools like the social balance that help us to show to the people how we are doing this in practice, in real life. So what are our figures and what are our salaries, and what is the difference of the salaries between the different positions in the company, if there are differences? Or all these questions are answered in the social balance. So in a way we show our hearts of our organizations, and that's like an invitation also to create a more transparent culture in the economy. And if you want to know more, I think the best way is to look for the International Network of Social and Solidarity Economy, which is RIPES. And there you can find the regional networks, the national networks, the local networks, and you can find all sorts of initiatives. And one step that you could take is just to go and visit one. But a tiny step that you can do is just to think about these 6 principles, even 7 principles, including the transparency, and see if you are accomplishing them in your project or in your daily life. And maybe you are part of the solidarity economy and you can join the movement.